Welcome back to the community, everyone, and thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. If you're new, you know the ritual. Try to subscribe. It's free. And check out the website. Lots to see and do there. Members ride section, technical section, and I even added another category called old photos. It's of the old factory German photos in different factories throughout the world for Volkswagen specific. Also, one more thing, if you're on Facebook, take a look at this and think about joining the community group. So that way all of you people can converse back and forth, and I'm also on there, and so is Heather and quite a few close friends. Okay, enough about that today. What I'm going to do today is remove the emergency brake handle. And I know you think, big deal. Well, there's a reason. For one thing, one of the subscribers here, which I call a community member, had posted about it. And I would have to remove it regardless because I want to strip it down, repaint it, make it look sexy, and get that done. But at the same time, a lot of people have problems when they have yanked the handle up too high. The cat's paw flips around and they're going, my button, something's not working on my button no more. So we're going to go over that. Okay, when I get it out of the car, I'll show you how it comes out. I'll show you how it comes apart and what to do to fix that and remedy that problem if it happens to you, because it can happen. It happened to me years ago, many years before the internet, so I didn't understand what was going on. Go ahead, get yourself something to drink. Let me get ready. I'll be right back. So I feel this is the perfect time to do this video for one big reason. My interior's out. When the seats are in, you can still do the jobs that I'm going to do this week and next week, but it's not very easy to film with the seats in. I like to get up close, as you know. So today we're going to do the handbrake removal, replenish, put it back together, and next week, steering wheel removal and steering column removal. And this one will be a little different because you can't unplug the plugs from the ignition switch. That is wired directly into the ignition switch and goes up, and of course we'll go under the trunk for it. I'm going to show you how to unwire and remove the whole column if you ever need to, or maybe you'll need that video just to remove your steering wheel. Either way, we're going to go ahead and film it. All right, so here we are inside the car. Now remember, you're going to have your seats in, but you know, these seats come out very easily. You know, I know there's a couple of different styles, but if you need to just remove one seat, it isn't like they're bolted down or anything. You know what I mean? You just pretty much got a spring, a handle, slide one out. But I did take advantage of this situation to do it now. So first of all, I'm gonna move that back. They're all going to be the same. Whether you have a Super Beetle, a regular Beetle, a Thing, a Carmen Ghia, you get the point, okay? It's going to be the same setup. So a lot of times people, their buttons are in and they won't work no more. It's a very easy fix. And that isn't the main reason. I want to repaint this. It's terrible. The paint's half missing off of it. And you never know if you need to take yours off when you're installing new carpet, because it does make it a lot easier when this is off and you put the new carpet down and you just cut your hole right there and then put your stuff back on. I've done it before. It helped greatly. So let's get into it. Take your boot, lift your boot off. Okay, I'm gonna take mine completely off because I want to clean it really, really well. It's in good shape, so I'll be able to reuse it. Yeah, it's actually still very nice. So we'll go ahead and clean it up. And let me pull the camera in closer so you can see what's going on. Now, one thing I do like to do is you see the openings for the tunnel on each side. Do yourself a favor and just kind of tuck a little rag there, okay? You don't want stuff falling down inside of there. Even if it's a washer or a clip, and you're searching through your toolbox trying to find a clip that you just lost. So if possible, cover up the access holes, and that way you don't have to worry. Now, one thing I'm going to do is remove the heater box control handles. And the reason is, while I'm taking this all apart, I want to polish these handles up real nice. So 13 millimeter, and watch, because you got parts inside of here. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Should have used the ratchet, but I grabbed the wrench, so not a big deal. So take that off. Okay, and I'm going to show you right here. Now see, you have, come on, you have a bracket like that. Okay, so don't lose that, obviously. And this is like a rubber neoprene or something. I don't know, I'm not good with materials that way. You have that next, so keep your stuff in order, if that makes any sense, okay? And pull this off. Sometimes you got to play a little bit to get it out of there. There we go. All right, now take it off the cable, and that's it, because I want to polish these up real nice. So what I am going to do, though, because I got too many parts in the garage, put that back on like that, okay? And then that way you just have this out, and when you bring it back, all your parts are still there and you don't lose any. But I want to polish these up real nice while I got, you know, my hands down inside of here. Let me spin the other side real quick. You don't have to do this. It's just one of them things for me, like while I'm at it, because I'm doing a mild restoration, you know. And the reason I say mild restoration is because if I was doing a complete one, I'd be lifting the body off. But there's really no reason to, on this car, to do that. So take your little bracket off. The washer came off with it. And we got to get the handle off. Come on, baby. Sometimes they're stubborn because of the cable. Let me get the cable moved up. I have the cables disconnected in the back, so it's fighting with me a little bit. Almost. I have to get in front of you a minute there to get this off. Okay. Of course, when you're filming, it's going to be a little stubborn. Here it comes. Okay. And then, see, my cables are shot. At the back is where they're shot, so I'm going to replace them anyhow. Not a big deal. So we have our little clip here, and you can use a screwdriver, or you can go ahead, there's one on each side, or you can use snap rings. I'm going to try using snap rings first. And I am, however, going to give a little spray. Hopefully that pin slides out easy. While the lubricant is working, we're going to go ahead and remove your handbrake cables, the adjuster. Mine, as you can see, I already had these off at one point, but they're technically down like that. And then you will have a lock nut, so it'll be double nutted. And I already have the lock nuts off of mine. So we're going to spin these off. If you did need a wrench and the lock nuts were on there, they're 10 millimeter. Alrighty. And what the nice thing too, while this is all apart, you can clean all this stuff up. Wire wheel it, clean it up real nice. You want everything to work properly like it did 50 years ago. My cables, I don't know if they're good, I'll have to check them, but they're not very expensive, so it's probably best to change them if you see any that are like frayed a little bit. And it's probably the best to get rid, because you don't want to be somewhere, you yank on your brake, and the next thing you know, it's not working no more. So, very easy to do. So, we're going to go ahead and get this apart, because I want to show you the deal with the button when they don't work properly, And of course, I'm going to wire wheel, clean this up, and paint it real nice. So let's get our clip off. I'm going to try snap rings first. I don't know if they'll fit inside of there or just give me, whoop, there it is. Almost. Nothing. Works perfectly easy. I hope my head's not blocking anything. See that? Right there. Take your screwdriver and take it off. Okay, here's what it looks like. All right, so I'll pull it out. I was going to try to show you something, but never mind. There's the snap ring on the other side. You can leave that on if you want, okay? But while you have this out, clean it up with some like 000 steel wool, almost to the point of polishing it. Because when we put it back together, a little bit of grease, put it in there, and your handle moves nice and smooth. Okay, here is removing the handle. Okay, so come on, don't fight with me. I'm going to take you over to the workbench now, and we're going to go over how this all functions. So we're over at the workbench now, and I'm going to pull the camera in really close to what I'm doing so you can get the idea. And I'm quite sure some of you think this is not a very good video. But when people ask for stuff, I try to provide it. But here's the main thing. I know quite a few people where they had went to push their button and their button was already in, and it was just playing it. It wouldn't do anything. When these are pulled up too far in the ratcheting system, it flips the cat's paw around and it no longer works. So I figured since I got to go ahead and wire wheel and paint this and strip it down, I can explain. So let me bring the camera in nice and close. That's about the best I can do for being up close. I don't want to get you too close and then you can't see what's going on. Now, what you have here, I call this the cat's paw in here, okay? And what we're going to do, if you ratchet all the way up, okay, that's when you're pulling your handle up, okay? That cat's paw needs to be engaged there, okay? So we're going to go ahead and show you if you push your button, it releases it, and of course you put your handle down. Clicks into place. There you go. And that's how it works. Now a lot of times, I don't know if you can see, there's a bar in there. And when you pull it, it moves the cat's paw. Like I think I showed you in the diagram. I think I found one. So lifting it up, okay. Sometimes, and this one's not doing it, but I'm going to slide that out of the way. If this cat's paw gets disengaged, then all of a sudden your button's not working, and it has happened to me. So it'll flip around, and guess what? It's not working no more. So see how nothing happens. This is actually a hook. Let me make sure I've got you in camera view. I wasn't sure, but this is going to come out, okay? And what we're going to do, there's a spring on here. Yeah, I better not try to get that off of there, and I don't want to pull my knob. I can't remember. They do unthread. I could not remember. And I didn't want to be a know-it-all, but I'm going to take the little rubber bushing off. It don't really thread, but since there's threads on there, they come off easier that way. So that's a part, that's a part. Take our spring off, okay? Our cat's paw will stay in there because it's riveted in, all right? But you can still clean it up a little bit so it moves smooth, but they usually do. And your rod, take some steel wool, clean it up real nice. Don't bugger your threads up though, okay? They're very fine thread. Clean this up real nice, clean that up real nice. That's what you want to do. So now it's time for me to wire wheel and spray this, and I guess I'll keep it in a video and we'll put it back together. How's that sound? Okay, give me a second. Let me set up shop here to clean this up and spray it. Be right back. Okay, so here's all your parts that you're going to have. So make sure to clean everything up real good. I am going to go ahead and strip this down real quick and paint it. So I wasn't going to do all of that on film, but I figure what the heck. If you guys are kicked back watching TV or playing on your phone, you're really bored with me. Okay, and look at that. That's from that ultrasonic cleaner. Very, very nice. Beautiful rocker arms. Very happy about that. So Okay, let's get on it. Now remember, when you're doing stuff like this, wear safety glasses. I have reading glasses on, which are not what you should be doing. But sometimes wear a dust mask because there's stuff coming off of here. And be as safe as you can. Wash your fingers around these. Let's go ahead, clean this up. If you need to, you can use sandpaper if you want and sand your head off, but other than that, I'm just going to run it across the wire wheel. So I'll play some music here and I'll speed the film up. Here, I'll just show you real quick. I'm taking it to metal because what I'm going to do is put on bare metal primer and then I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I'm going to heat my metal up though. Some people don't do that. I do. I'm going to take my heat gun and heat the metal up while it's hanging and spray it so it has a little bit of a baked on effect. Who knows? I always do weird stuff. So. Okay, so you got the idea of what I'm doing there. Take it right down to metal if you choose to. Okay, so I got done cleaning everything up. Look how nice that is. Ooh, the cat's paw, I even kind of held it, cleaned it up a little bit, you know, just because I wanted to. No specific reason. Nobody's going to see it, but I wanted to for smoother movement. I cleaned the rod up. I didn't wire wheel or clean those threads because they're fine threads. I don't want to screw them up. So polish this up, or spring I hit with just triple O steel wool. I spun it in my hand just to clean it up. So we're all cleaned up. I'm going to hang this up and then I'm going to spray it. So bear with me. All right, so I just got a little bit of thinner here. I want to wipe this off, make sure it's really clean, and then we're going to hit it with bare metal primer and Rust-Oleum. You're saying, wait, why you paint it red? It's supposed to be black. I can paint it black or I can paint it red. Black is factory, I agree, but I'm doing my interior in red. Hopefully with some black piping around the seats, because I believe I'm probably painting the car black with red interior. So I'm going to spray the handle red, and you'll see when it's done. I got the vision in my mind, but not on paper, obviously. But we're going to do the handle in red, and I think it'll look nice. I really do, since the interior will be all red. So using Sunrise Red, that's actually what I used on Gracie. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's wipe this off. Okay, let's hang this up. So what I did, nothing fancy, I took a piece of mechanics wire, wrapped it around my light because I don't feel like making hangers up right now, and of course right through the hole. Alrighty, I'll just curve that up. It's not heavy, so make sure you clean it really good though with the thinner. I'm going to wipe it down one more time, and then we are going to hit it with the metal primer, and then we'll go ahead and spray it red. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have it all wiped off again, and I'm going to heat this up with a hairdryer. I have a heat gun, but I really don't want to make it too hot. I'm just warming the metal up. So I'll go ahead, whoops, and speed up the film a second so you don't have to listen to this. Okay, now the metal's warmed up, nice and warm to the touch, because honestly it's 60 degrees here. I'm northeast, so it isn't that warm yet, but I'm not complaining. We're lucky. But the metal's nice and warm to touch, so I like spraying that way. It's just me. So let me go ahead and warm the paint up a little bit. I don't have no water up here. I generally like putting the can for about 10 minutes in some warm water, like up to here, to atomize the paint. I don't have any up here right now, so I'm going to warm it up my own way. So we have our bare metal primer. Okay, I hope this is still good. I did warm the paint up in it. It's nice and cozy. That was weird, huh? Hopefully. Really? Thanks, Rust-Oleum. Let me grab something else. Wasn't that great? I don't have a lot in here, but enough probably to do this handle. Hopefully it works. It's self-etching primer for metal. So let's see what it does. Make sure to wear a mask. I almost didn't when I first started, and then I remembered. So try to wear one. Whoop. Go around the other side. I warmed it up to dry it quicker. Now, I'm not saying to do this on your parts, it's just what I do. It doesn't mean I'm right, I'm not an expert. I just do what I've done over the years. Yeah, maybe figure it out on your own. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I warmed that up and it's dry, so I'm gonna go ahead now and spray my red on, let it sit for a second, warm it, and then spray another coat on, and that should be it. So I have heated my paint up, okay, and don't get stupid doing this. You can blow the can up, okay? It's under pressure. If you want to put it in warm water, not hot water, warm water, soak it in there for, 5 or 10 minutes, and it will warm it up and it'll atomize the paint. Get up really good, although I was shaking it off camera a lot, so it's ready to go. Honestly, this is a dust mask, but use a good quality mask. I have a good 3M one for painting. It's down the house, and I forgot to get it, so I'm doing this. Don't do this, okay? Just give it a nice light coat. Just like a tack coat. That's all you're doing. Let it go for a few seconds here. You do this if you want. I'm doing it. I'm heating it up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to spray the second coat on, okay? I'm going to put glasses on so I can see better now. So, ugh. Okay. I put a nice second coat on. I'm going to miss the third coat on. It doesn't mean you have to. But watch you don't get crazy and end up making it run or sag, okay? So we have our sunrise red on our handle. I'll bring you up close because I can't touch anything yet. It's got to dry really good. I did warm it up though to kind of get it to dry a little bit faster, but I just feel warming it up atomizes it a little bit, smooths it out. Let me bring you up close. See how nice that looks? Honestly, I believe warming it up makes it flow a little bit better. I could be wrong, but that's what I do. So I keep it nice and warm. Like I said, it's 60 degrees out, which feels good to work in, but painting metal, that was in a garage overnight is cold. But that's good there. Let me go over a couple of things here. So I'm going to have to let this dry overnight, but in 3 seconds from now, you're going to see it dry because I'm going to edit the film so you don't have to see part 1, part 2. So we'll be right back in a second when this is dry. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. We're going to reassemble it, put it in a car. I'm going to show you a couple important tips that you really need to know so it moves smooth and operates very nicely. Be right back. All right, so it's the next day. Like I said, different clothes on. That's why I told you what I was doing. And it came out beautiful. We're going to take it off of here and put it on a workbench. And let's assemble this back together. And I'll show you how it goes. And we'll put it on the car and finish up pretty quick. I like using this mechanics wire, unless you have some fancy garage, for parts that are light because you can basically, tie them, hang them, do your spraying. Unless you guys got something fancy, that's what I do. So let's take a look at this close up with heating it with the gun. Now, like I said, I didn't use my heat gun. I used the hairdryer, basically because I got lazy. I should have looked for the heat gun. But you don't want to make it too hot. But I feel like I'm kind of baking it on. And let me get it up close where you can see it. And I feel it speeds up the drying time. So I think it come out really nice, to be honest with you. So, like I said, always do what you feel's right. I'm trying to get a really nice reflection, and I can't, but it come out good. I'm really, really happy. So, all right, let's start assembling this. Folks are very lucky because you don't have to look at me when we're doing these kind of videos. Now, I have everything laid out the way it's going to go together. So I'm going to try to bring it as close as I can so you can see inside, and I'll show you what I mean. So let me pull it a little closer and try to get a light on it. Now we're going to go ahead and start assembling it. Now we're going to put the spring on first. Big deal, right? Okay. Keep it curved this way. You'll see why when I'm done. Okay. We're going to take, it's just a little flexible piece of rubber. Okay, now don't break it though. And slide that on. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, and like I said, you do what you want. There's dielectric grease. I'm going to take just a smidgen. Remember that word, smidgen. You'll need to know that in the future if you're trying to get a good job. Yeah, that was stupid, huh? Okay. We got a little dielectric grease. And why are we using dielectric grease? Because it don't corrode rubber. Okay, not like other stuff does. Take your knob, thread it on. Okay, let me do it in the other hand. Ooh, we'll get closer. Okay, so we're threading the knob on. Push your rubber up, and you have your little bit of dielectric grease, just so it slides smoother in and out of here. Let me move my hand in and out of here. Okay, so we're going to take this, and where's your cat's paw? And if you don't have a cat, you know, flip it around. You want the teeth, where are you at? There you are. Face this way. Okay, so we're going to slide this in. Okay, and you're going to, here, let me get you as close as I can get. See how the hook is? You see it, quit complaining. Okay, you're going to, this is hard to do while trying to look through the camera. You're going to put the cat's paw down inside of it, and I'll get the light in there better once it's together and show you what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to get that inside of there. Well, see with looking through camera? Okay, see inside of there what I did, and look at the diagram here. That should make sense, okay? So now, when you're pushing the button, you're controlling that. I'm holding the button in. I'm going to slide this back inside. Okay. This here goes around this shaft inside. Okay. So let's do that. Make sure this is moving nice and smooth, like your button. Okay. Doesn't that look nice? I really like it. Okay, so when you need to release it, that spring is here to, you know, push it back and forth. That curve, like that, is going around the top of the cat's paw. So when you're pushing it, it's grabbing the top and it's releasing, okay? So that's how that works. And like I said, if you get one and your trigger's not working right, that means this cat's paw somehow got spun around and you can't activate it, okay? So how's that for a little Slade tutorial? Nothing to get excited over, but okay, let's put it in the car. I'm going to show you a couple other little things to do real quick putting it in. All right, so what we're going to do is take your pin, is what I call it, although it's very large, and it'll end up going through, but I want to put just a little bit of grease on it, just a dab, just to make everything move very smooth. You want it to feel like the car is brand new again. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm in camera range there. I can't tell. But you're going to go ahead. Get grease all over me. take your handle. It's too far backward, I'm sorry. Slide your pin in as soon as you get it lined up, like that. There. Okay. And don't forget, I call it a C-clip. Okay. You're going to take your rag, cover your little hole, just so you don't drop it down in a tunnel. And wait, I'll be out of your way in a second here, because I think I'm probably blocking. Whoops, hold the pin in and clip it. And there you go. Now you can always take, if you want, some needle nose and try to squeeze a little to make the pin a little bit tighter. But you're going to see how smooth I can just do it with the palm of my hand. That's because everything is clean and working properly. Okay, now I imagine you know how to put the emergency brake cables and everything back on, because I have to take it back out of the car because I'm going to be working in here, so I want this out of the way. But it did come out very nice. I'm very happy with it, but I don't want to scratch it all up with all the work I have to do. When I go to put this back in after the carpet's done, that will be another video, and what it will consist of is replacing the e-brake cables, putting this together, and adjusting. All right, so like I said, it's probably not a video for all of you. Maybe some of you already know how to do all of that, but if it helps one person, as I always say, it was worth doing the video. Plus, I had to take it apart anyhow. So thank you for being here. Next week, we're removing the steering wheel, and we're removing the column with the wiring, because this is a little different, okay? And some of you will run into that. Even if you have a different one, like, you know, a Super Beetle or a 73, you know, where the plugs come off the back ignition, that's the only thing that's different. So you'll still at least to enjoy the video and go, oh, yeah, that is pretty cool. I'll reflect back to that if I need it. So, okay, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of it all. That's the main thing. I appreciate you folks. Have a great day.